Secretly recorded from deep inside the bowels of a decommissioned missile silo, we bring you the man, one single man who wants to bring light to the darkness and dark to the lightness. Although he's not always right, he is always certain. So now, with security protocols in place, the protesters have been forced back behind the barricades and the blast doors are now sealed. Without further delay, let me introduce you to the host of Hutcast, Mr. Tim Hutner.
Thank you, Sergeant-at-Arms. You can now take your post. Today on Hutcast, this glorious day of November 13th, 2022. Shout out to Africa. We're going to have a conversation about why you can't hack my stuff and why my VPNs are active. Our midterms in Minnesota and visitors to two parties. I'll explain to that one when I get to that section. And friends in our time. Today's conversation on Hutcast. Stand by. We'll be right back. The current healthcare system is not meeting the needs of real people. People are demanding better care, better options, and want results. So Gareth Care has launched and is advocating for those in the U.S. and internationally, as people are realizing the controlled system has not been there for them. If you want your own independent advocate that is not controlled by big corporations, call or text and enroll today to get your advocate for your needs, serving all ages. For any healthcare need you might have, you matter. Here's how you get started. www.garethcare.com, GRAITHCARE.com. Call Gareth Care Direct 1-469-864-7149. Call or text a question to Healthcare Sucks and get an advocate with Gareth Care 1-469-864-7149. Mention Hutcast and you'll get a 10% discount on your advocacy bundle. And the staff at Gareth Care will take care of you. Remember to mention Hutcast, get that extra 10% off your first bundle of time. And this is all brought to you from Gareth Care. Welcome again to Hutcast on this November 13th, 2022. It's kind of chilly out today, 27 degrees Fahrenheit for you guys out in the Eastern Bloc who use metric. And it's kind of a good day to sit down and do a podcast. So here we are. As I stated in pre-roll, my shout out to Africa. Yes, you know I'm all over the world. You probably listen to this. You probably have the same conversations over there. I don't know what you guys talk about, but here. Let me give you an address. So 197.210.29.96. It's called an ASN of 29465 in Omagambaga. The city of Omagambaga. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And a state region of Corgi. This is in Africa. So, guys, I'm telling you out there now, I know you listen to the show because you're trying to hack my stuff with your not so fun proclivities. You're not getting through my VPN. I can see where you are. I know what you're doing. Listen to the show or go find something else to do. I don't know what you do in Africa. Chase lions, get eaten by lions. I don't know. But just go do something else. I'm not it. For God's sakes. All right, moving on. Our midterms. Yep, we've all been through it. All the cities, all the states, all the lefts, the rights, the polarizations, the whole thing. It's just one of those things in life where you're just like, really? How much fighting are we going to do? The way right's crazier than the way left, and the way left is crazier than the way right. And if you just can't find a center to common sense, then you're part of the problem. Our midterms have proven that yet again. Here in Minnesota, we had Scott Jensen, great guy, and taxing Timmy Waltz. Two different people, two different backgrounds, two different associations. Okay, I get it. I've invited Mr. Waltz on the show several times, a decline each time, but however, I have had Dr. Jensen on twice. And I'll tell you, the kind of slander they did with him in this election is horrific. I am ashamed to be part of the human race. Again, race is human in the show. He beat him up on women's abortion rights. Now, if anybody's ever listened to the show, you know his position. But yet they kept slandering this guy because that's their MO. Slander to get the points. We lost what? Maybe 3 points to this? Just to this one particular topic? Because the left has put out there that Dr. Scott Jensen is completely against abortion. He's going to take that right away from you. As a state, he's going to take that right away from you. If that could even happen, which I don't think it ever could, they can do the outlaw and they can do the whatever they want to, but they're not going to outlaw a woman's choice. I mean, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. But the slanders they put out on him, again, I am ashamed to be part of the human race because it's not what he was talking about. And go back and listen to the shows. It's in our lineup. Listen to what he said, how he said it. He's a doctor. He's a medical doctor. Of course, he wants to preserve life. And if you cannot take it, that's a win for him. It doesn't say he's against abortion. He just is not in favor of it. Is he going to write laws? I don't know. A friend told me last night, he said, the abortion thing for all the women, which we lost our points on, is like the Second Amendment for us gun guys. Once you push that hot button, I don't care if you're left, right, Dem, independent, you vote against the guy. Well, that means you vote for the other guy. So that's a two-tier loss. You lose the vote, and it pushes it to the other side. The red wave, they start pushing on that too. Hey, this red wave's coming out. Okay, red wave, you start scaring people, and again, their Second Amendment rights come flying up. Their hackles of Second Amendments. They go out there and they say, "You're not taking away my rights. You're not going to take away my freedoms." And I get that, but again, that was so not part of the deal. We needed a change here in Minnesota. So here's what we got here in the big state of MN USA. We have a completely democratic society of House, State Rep, House Representatives, Governor, and just about everything else you can think of is now turned blue because their smash campaign worked. It's plain and simple. They were organized enough to say, okay, when the feds changed their Roe v. Wade turnover, and we've talked about that, me and Mr. Jensen, Dr. Jensen, great guy, they didn't know how to deal with it. Okay, that was a push button for them. The Dems couldn't have had a better spot on this. They went out and said, oh, hold on. We're going to overturn this from a predominantly Republican Supreme Court, and now we're got to pay the price on all the state level. They made a choice. They did that. I don't disagree or agree either way. I'm kind of a personal, it's your body, your choice type of thing, but yet I'm still pushing a conservative value, and I've been on both sides of this. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're a Democrat. Common sense is still common, and it should be practiced on a regular basis. Common sense. So for that, our midterms are a complete disaster in Minnesota. Now we have no checks and balances. And if you listen to the Dems now, they're talking about all kinds of neat stuff. What's one of them? Oh. So for you dopers, you're going to get a fun one out of this. We are now going to be a pot-friendly state because we couldn't pass it before because we had a Republican Senate. Oh no, that's just going to fly right through now. Let's see how that one turns out. Keep it in your books for other states, because this is what happens when you get a no type of checks and balances at the policymakers. And we've had plenty of policymakers on this show. And I don't care if you're a Dem or a Reb, they all have great points. Very, very good people. Very noble to do this. Some of them out in the world, not my guys that I've interviewed, should have term limits. They shouldn't be in this forever. They shouldn't be millionaires because they've become this. There's a lot of things behind that just smell funny. So my opinion is term limits. Okay, so our midterms are all screwed up. We're going to have 2 more years till our major election's going to happen. Now we're going to have another Biden. Who's going to be our Republican running mate? I don't even know. The word out there is DeSantis is revving up, and hey, he's got my vote. I've invited him. No response. I'm just a hutcast in the lonely missile silo in an undisclosed location. Maybe he couldn't find me. That could be it too. It is undisclosed. It says it in the intro. And we've got, I don't think Biden's can make another round. I mean, he's so incoherent. A lot of people like him, and if you like him, good for you. He's not on my ticket, not my kind of guy. But I think that he's got some good points. I just haven't found him yet. Maybe I'll see him sometime. I don't know. Too much cover up there. Too much smells funny again. So if DeSantis runs, which I hope he does, I think he'll take this country by storm. I don't believe he's going to take any of the major metros. The blue ones, especially in Ilhan's District 5, because she's just... How did she put it on Esme Murphy? Republicans are inherently nasty. Well, she's a puke. So's her brother, husband, / whatever boyfriend. Don't like her. Don't care. You listen to the show, you suck. You can email me on that. Or you can try and hack my email. Whatever works for you. I mean, she just, you suck. I mean, how do you say it? Okay. Oh, and Trump. Yes. If you're a Trumper, kind of Trumper, sort of Trumper, or play the trumpet, he's going to try and make another run. But what he's doing now, he's polarizing the right on the way in. He beats up on Santos. Santos beats up on him. You get this fight back and forth. Who's going to win? I don't even know. So watch the mail on that one. And we need another major. We need a good major to clean some of this stuff up, to get some of this blue and red, so we can have this equalization in sides. To, again, practice politics. And politics are defined as two opposing sides coming together to have a meeting, coming together, quote unquote, to create a common point, a common ground, a solution to both sides. Not one side, not, hey, you've offended me, and then the right goes, oh, we're sorry, here, whatever, take whatever you want. Nope, not doing that either. You want to get offended? Get offended. That's your problem. Your feelings aren't my problem. Your feelings are nobody else's problems but yours. It's nobody else's responsibility to have your feelings but you. So suck it up, cupcake. I'm offended that you're offended. Now what? All right, what else? Midterms is going to be a big thing for the next 2 years, just in the state alone. What I've noticed in the last campaign, and I'm not proud of this because these Republicans are just taking a playbook out of the Democrats' books. And they have started this smash campaign against any Democrat with a D next to your name. I have good friends that are Ds. And they didn't deserve this. They didn't earn this. But because of their D, they got targeted. And they were using some of the kung fu that they used on the D side, and the Ds didn't know how to deal with it. Hey, you hurt my guys' feelings again. Well, guess what? You started this stuff. Now you don't like it? Hold on. You can't unwind this clock. It's going to happen. You did it. We did it back, or they did it back. I don't want to use the word we. But you did this. And those guys paid it back, and you were certainly all upset over it. Too bad. It's too bad that you can't come together to make a solution. That's why local city officials run as nonpartisan. You can't run as a partisan. You can, I suppose, but when I signed my affidavit, it asked me. I don't know if they ask anymore. If you run as a Dem or a Reb, I mean, usually you color your signs red or blue just to see where you're at. And if you got red, white, and blue, then you're independent. So if you see a sign on the side of the road, and yeah, that's what you see. I mean, that's what they do. So we're 12 minutes in this first section, trying to catch my feet underneath me again, trying to free up some time. Shop's finally getting done and ready. My other daytime job. And I'm trying to get some more stuff for you guys so you can sit back and go, make you say, A lot of friends are going to be having issues, which we're going to go into our next one, our midterms, of visiting two parties. So I'm going to cut a break here at 12:40, and I'm going to explain what that means. Visiting two parties. So for HUDcast, stand by. I will be right back. Buying a gun is no ordinary purchase. Whether you're a hunter, competitive shooter, or self-defense is your priority, there are many kinds of guns and many kinds of training programs. You use your brain all the time. You will rarely need to use your gun. Before you find yourself in a situation where you need to make a critical decision, make sure your training is the best you can get. It could be the difference between life and death, or freedom or detention. For the best quality training, check out permittocarry.us. If you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin or even Florida, give Gene German a call, 612-388-2403. That's Permit to Carry US. Or call Gene German at 612-388-2403. How'd you like that commercial? That is a great company. You should visit them, hit their website, check them out. As I led out of the last segment and into this one, visiting two parties party. I want to explain something there. You know, I kind of lean on the right, but I've got a lot of friends on the left, and I understand they've got their things, and I respect their things. They respect my things. But I was in a unique position this election to go to two different parties party, hence the title, Two Parties Party. I went to the right party. I felt decent. It's kind of my people. They were clean cut. They were shaven. They were professional. They were what I expect a Republican / party would be. All the professionals, all the stuff that we could have, the machine, the mechanical, the people that were actually there were very, very like normal people, to me anyway. I visited with them. I had conversations with them. You work the room, you talk to people. Once you're on that side of the fence, they can sense that. It must be their spidey sense. I don't know, but they were there. There were some nuts there. I mean, you have a cashew, you have some crazy nuts, some peanuts, planters nuts. They're in every group. You try to avoid them. A lot of the running mates from that side, from the right side, were there, and they were all having a universal party, which is okay. I get it. So I really enjoyed talking to women and kind of being there. And then I went to the Democratic Party, for a friend of mine. And it is a polar difference. You talk to people, and they're very, very cordial. They're very nice. They're very emotional. They're very touchy-feely. You walk, you see the room. You see the red hair. Some guy had mirrors on his shoes. A mohawk with a purple center. I mean, you see two different dynamics of people. And that's okay if they want to do that. I mean, that's the part of freedom that we have in this country. That is the very essence of our souls of this country. The freedom of choice. And I felt kind of honored to be on both sides of this. I wasn't cheering for any one team. I was the fly on the wall, just observing. I do have to say that the Democratic side was more welcoming than the Republican side. You come in and you got a feather rooster sticking out of the back of your cap, and purple velvet shirt and all this stuff, and you were one of them, and they were okay with that. They more so acceptance, which I didn't see that. I didn't feel that at the Republican side. Good or bad, I mean, this is what I felt. If you were a misfit, you didn't fit in, you had the whatever that made you uniqueness. They were more willing to accept what you were than I felt at the Republican side. The Republican side was, hey, you got a purple velvet shirt and you're wearing a feather sticking out of it. Probably not your kind of people, but it shouldn't be that way either. So what I felt was, again, very unique that I could get on both sides of this fence. I saw both people. I was that fly. And it was kind of honored to be on both sides of that and just float the middle. Now, some people say, oh, you're just being a rhino. No, I don't think so. My values our core beliefs are still the same. I haven't changed them. I don't think I can be a dino. I don't know if there's such thing as a dino or rhino or Dino or whoever. But I was very humbled by being both sides of that. And if only our polarized government could feel what I felt that time, to understand that, hey, your way is not always right, but it's still your way, and you should respect your way. It's some of that. I'm kind of the pot calling the kettle black on some of that, because, once you get stuck in your ways, you're stuck there. I mean, you try to listen, learn, and move, but there you are. But the Democratic side, you came in jeans. You came in and, I was wearing my work uniform. So, I mean, literally, I just got off work and all these parties are happening. I didn't get off till about 6:30. Parties started at 7s. I hung around one place for an hour, hung around the other place for an hour, and it was kind of cool. It was really kind of neat how everybody had the aura of the room. Let me put it that way. They both had their aura. And I can see why the Blues push a little harder, because they're more emotional. And once they kind of stick together, they're stuck. They have that organization of feeling of, this is who we are, and if you don't like it, we're going to take it over. That's a bad part for saying we're going to take it over, because now it shows dictatorship, and I'm not that kind of guy. You shouldn't dictate shit no matter what you're doing, Rebs or Dems. But they were very welcoming. They were very warm. They accepted you for who you are as soon as you walked in the room. And the Rebs were more of again, mechanical. We see you. You've got your social face on. You've got your social mask on. You come into the room, and we've started this process in our heads that say, okay, this is who you are. Now let's hear who you are. Kind of interesting to be in both spots. The Republican, that party that was at, they did win their race. They were all happy. Good for them. There was some other parties that shared the party for local offices. They did not win, and they went home, second best loser. That's what we say in the race world. You're the fastest loser. Now, the Dem side that I went to, they also won. Different office, different level of government. He felt relieved because, they're in there and they just want to stay there, and, they have to work at it every 2-4 years or whatever their cycle is. So it's re-stress every time, but that's in their job description. If you're there and you want to stay there, now you have to go and re-stress this every cycle. The person that ran against them did okay. In some of the states, there was about a 17% difference. I did the math myself while I was sitting there watching the results come in at the Dem side, and I thought, yeah, you're about 17%. And it seemed pretty close at first. But, 17, whether it's 1% or 17, you're still the fastest loser. They felt better. The winners of each contest, they were there. They worked hard for it. They've pounded the streets. They've hit on doors. They've stolen baby suckers. The whole political thing. I've been there. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Now let's see what they do with it. The Dems one that I went to, my theory is he don't know he's a Republican, but that's okay, because he's got the same values as we do. He's in the middle. He's on the fence with saying, okay, what makes sense, both sides. Doesn't have to be a letter next to it. I respect him for that. And the Republican guy, first time felon on this one. He's going to be in. He's going to do his thing. We'll see if he can stay straight and narrow, so we don't have any other episodes coming up about things that shouldn't happen in local politics. And if it does, well, it's going to get out there. You can bet on it. So for you guys across the world, it means nothing to you locally. But I can imagine that you have the same type of things in your area. Politics are politics. Doesn't matter who's they on. They get polarized, they get side on. Take a side, this side, his side, our side. Some politics with dictatorships, their side is with a gun. Luckily, ours right now is still the sanctity of the actual win is the win. Which I mean by that is we respect the system enough to do this, although November 6th was a heck of a problem a couple of years ago. If they want to take that over, the touchy-feely side ain't going to have nothing to say about it besides, excuse me, let me get out of your way. I haven't seen that happen yet. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime. But from that, it wouldn't be that hard to think that could happen. Afghanistan, when they took it over, they went in with guns a-blaring. And guess what? That government's gone, new government's in place. It was a hostile takeover. Ours is still a peaceful takeover. But at times, I can see why you do hostile. I really do. I really think of that. Okay. But what is that worth? What does that say to you if you just don't respect the organization of it all? Then you're no different than a third world country. And USA is not a third world country. So for you guys out there, no bang on a third world country. If you happen to live in one, it's just a third place. It's third, go by powers. Number 1, Russia. Number 2 is Russia. 3 is, I don't even know, Kosovo. Okay. Visiting two parties party. I can't say any more about that because it was very unique. I've never been in that position. I'm half a century old, and I was in awe. It was a good spot to be in, a very good learning curve. I highly recommend if you're on one side, you go visit another side's party. Go visit a caucus. Go do something. You know, they all have their rah-rahs. We're going to take over. We're going to do this. But really, when you actually win, go to that party. Don't go to the preaching, I'm going to do this party shit, because it doesn't work. Just go to the normal stuff and say, hey, what are you guys doing over here? So two parties party, you get a chance, look them up, hit them up, try it out. It is very unique. You don't worry, you're not going to go and crap on your party you're in just because you're at someplace else. You know what they say, if you want to learn something, pay attention to your opponent because maybe they have something you don't know. And I'm kind of on that. All right, we are 12 minutes into this segment, short segments today. I will come back with Friends in Our Time. I don't want to leave the show on a downer, but it's going to be kind of a downer. I mean, I'm seeing things that we shouldn't be seeing at this age, and here we are. So, Hutcast, we'll be right back. Stand by.
In today's busy world, staying healthy and alert have become essential for those of us who want to get the most out of ourselves. So before you reach for that energy drink, ask yourself, are you really giving your body the best? If you want the energy without the jitters that commonly come from today's most popular energy drinks, then reach for something better. Reach for Super Fuel. Super Fuel is made by Casmo Incorporated. Super Fuel is a healthy boost. Super Fuel is made with vitamins B6, B12, and taurine, that is a amino acid that aids in weight loss and protects heart tissue. Beetroot powder and other healthy ingredients that will give you a quick, healthy boost. Make Super Fuel a great tasting, low-calorie addition to your daily regimen. Super Fuel by Casmo Incorporated. It can be ordered by visiting our website at www.superfuel.me or calling 833-383-5912. That's right, Super Fuel by Casmo Incorporated at www.superfuel.me or calling 833-383-5912. Super Fuel.
Again, another great sponsor on Hutcast. So here's we are. I told you in the last one we're going to have a little bit of a life check, kind of a downer. And its title is Friends of Our Time. Friends of Our Time, which means the friends that are in your time, your timeline, your friends that are here now, have been in the past. And an uncle once said, just because you don't see him every day and it takes you 5 to 7 to 10 years before you catch up with him, doesn't mean there's not your friend. It just means you haven't seen your friend in a while. Unless, of course, you just shut the friend off altogether or vice versa, or you defriend them on Hatebook. But my point, friends of our time. Hutcast is going through a lot of friend changes. Not by choice, but by sheer, I don't know what you call it, by sheer time itself. Time that friends are getting sick. They're getting hurt. They're falling off the planet. All these friends are pretty much ships just ending. And I wanted to talk a little bit about today because, I don't want to be that Debbie Downer guy, but here we are, and here's what we're doing. So you have a friend, and he's been around for most of your lifetime, including childhood lifetime, and they get sick. There's something wrong. There's something that can't be corrected. There's something that you think is so minute. I've lost 4 friends in the last, couple of years. And they seem to be accelerating, losing these friends. And I want to talk about it just to tell you guys that, hey, what do you do? One friend died 2 weeks ago, and he said he went into the hospital with swollen ankles, and now he's gone. And all of a sudden, hey, there's something going on here. COVID didn't help this any. You had friends in the hospitals that you couldn't go see, and they were dying. Their friends, parents, people, whoever they are to you, your friend. And COVID under the mask of illusion, you couldn't go see them or say hi to them or say goodbye to them. That's going to sit wrong with a lot of people for a long time, as it should. Nothing should stop you from saying goodbye to your friends. No one, no organization, no government, no healthcare mandate should ever stop you. Find a way. Get in there, say hi, say goodbye. So whatever that is for you, that mental currency, so you can put that friendship quantified in your brain to a certain area where, okay, now it's there. Friends of our time is just a way of saying, hey, I mean, we've had a lifetime with you. I'm sorry you're in the spot. I'm sorry that you're going through this. We will all go through this. Just some sooner than others. And you never think it's long enough. Whether you're 80 or 18. It's not. I've never died yet, so we'll find out when I get to that point. But being in that position, having friends in that spot, we all have friends. We all have family. We all got to just sit back and kind of enjoy the time we have with them. Not make it a spectacle, but just be who you were with them when you first started being with them. That friend. That family. Continue to be who you were without the mask of overdoing the, hey, we know you're not going to make it, but we still love you, man. You're still one of us. You're still part of us, our being, our fiber of who we think, what we say, what we do. Because those impressions that are in your brain from them will be there forever. And you start to begin to think like the collective, the people that are all one. In a nutshell, what I'm saying, people, is whatever country you're in, whatever city, state, ethnicity, well, make sure your friends know that you're the friends. You and them are friends. That they can be there if you need them. Hang out with them. Have a beer. Sit around a campfire. Shoot guns. Whatever that is. Whatever that is for you and them. Whatever that commonality is that brought you together. The one I last 2 weeks ago. Week ago. High school buddy. Known for decades I've known this guy. Lost connection with him for a decade or so. Connected back up with him. We still remember the good times and the bad. We remember the fun we had. We were in school and we're motorheads together. He's building a hot rod for his kid now that his kid's 16, and he's wanting to do this with his kid. I think they built it. I'm pretty sure they finished it. Goes into the hospital with swollen ankles, and now he's done. Holy cow. That's kind of a big thing. Kind of a big ending. For such a menialish swollen ankles. I mean, I don't know the whole story. I'm sure I'll hear about it. Funeral's next week. I have another friend who's in a tough spot. Known him since I was 7. Never lost touch with him. Go camping, go four-wheeling, go shooting, whatever it is, we do it. In a tough spot. I hope he can pull through it. But he's being attacked by certain parts of his own body. And that's a lose no matter what you do. And nothing he can do to stop it. He's trying everything he possibly can. Hope he pulls through it. Because the world's going to be a lesser place without them. Any of them, including the ones that you know. Sometimes you just got to reach out, and no matter how goofy it sounds, just say something that, brought you guys together. Because once it's done, it's over. There is no undos in this. Not unless they've figured out a way to fix Walt Disney's brain and bring him back, or did they froze his head or his body or something, or cryogenic. I don't think they've done that yet, but when they do, that'll be kind of interesting, huh? Kind of a futuristic type of thing, but hey, I'm willing to try. What's the alternative? Stay dead? I don't know. wonder how much that costs. Can you do it? They got a home kit, maybe. I don't know. Well, they're probably listening to the show as well. And you know what? You're my friends, and you'll be my friends forever. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, that's the way it is. I hope you fight your demons and you win. So reach out to your people. Reach out to your friends. Let them know, hey, I'm still here. I'm still human. We still love you. Try to take the time. Try to. I know it's a busy world for everybody. It's really busy. But try and slow down and make that call. Hey, what are you doing? What's new? And yeah, you're going to be listening to a lot of stuff that you're like, holy cow. It's overwhelming, the kind of stuff they're going through. But they need a vent. They need to talk about it. All right, I'm here to listen. And that leads us into the new friends. How do you know you got a new friend when you got a new friend? Well, see if they're still around in 10 years. See if they're still around in 20 years, let alone the rest of your whole life. That's a big thing. There's an old proverb. I don't know if it's a God's proverb. I don't know if it's a religious one. I don't know what it was. And it said, false friends are like autumn leaves can be found anywhere. True friends are like diamonds, so precious and rare. I think I saw that when I was like 6. I had to have somebody read it to me. I mean, because I couldn't read at that time. And it's stuck in my head. Can't stop it. And there's other variations of that. Whatever that is for you, just remember that. Didn't want to make this a downer gig. But sometimes at Hutcast, you got to sit back and go, why are we doing this? For what reason? So these friends you've got, go say hi. Go have that beer. Go have that campfire. Go travel the world with them. Go travel RVing with them. Whatever got you guys together, go try and do it. What else can I add to that? I mean, didn't want this to be a downer, but it kind of is. So we're going to try and move this up and look forward to the new things, to the new friends. Don't be afraid to make friends. Just try not to lose them along the way. Okay, what do we got here? 10 minutes in this short segment again. Title this one is Friends of Our Time. I'll label this as that so you can just kind of either zip through it or blow past it or whatever works for you. Hutcast, 27 degrees on 11/13/2022, just after elections. So we'll figure out a plan for next time. I hope to have some different sponsors coming up. Again, you African guys, I got my eyes on you. Don't make me revert to doing some bad stuff back, because you're not getting in. We got some pretty strong kung fu on our side too, so behave. No other emails for anybody else. So did we get some from Ukraine? The translation was kind of different, but they listen to the show. They have their translation guys out there, and I guess it's going through. So you know what? Thanks for the praise and the compliments. I appreciate it. I don't know what to have for social media over there anymore. I mean, you're not part of the main grid anymore. You're kind of on your own thing. So I hope all is well. Be safe over there. Appreciate the call out. We'll be catching up all soon. So Hutcast signing off on this glorious November day. And that's a wrap for Hutcast. Hutcast is, again, a pragmatic approach to seeing things how some people see them. If you like our show, give us a thumbs up on the Facebook site. Again, for Hutcast, thank you again. Have a wonderful evening.